Australia is a country of many different property markets. House prices certainly started to fall in places like Sydney last year, but Melbourne over the past 12 months, or perhaps even further back, has shown considerable capital growth, particularly within the housing sector. Last year saw growth as high as 8% and even higher in certain sectors of the housing market. Well, there's a number of reasons. Rapid population growth has certainly had a large contribution to that, and that's come about from overseas, interstate, but also a high birth rate that we've been experiencing. And then we've also become a very credible business alternative to Sydney. So things such as David Jones moving their headquarters to Melbourne and basing in Richmond, Amazon creating a physical presence in Australia and choosing Dandenong as that location, and then obviously the Apple flagship store in Federation Square is certainly helping that as well. This will bring along hundreds of extra jobs, and it just adds to Melbourne's reputation, attracting more companies and more people to what is a fantastic city. The inner and middle ring suburbs of Melbourne have certainly shown a history of strong and above average capital growth. Half of Melbourne's population growth in the past 10 years has actually been within a 20-kilometre radius of the city itself, but this hasn't made the inner suburbs any less desirable. In actual fact, new arrivals, they want their homes closer to the city for job opportunities and lifestyle requirements. So people relocating from, say, Sydney, or perhaps even internationally from cities like London or Hong Kong, might actually find Melbourne to be very, very affordable in comparison. As a result, suburbs like Richmond, North Fitzroy, North Carlton will actually continue to outperform the general market. The best types of investment properties to focus on are always those with the greatest scarcity value, so where demand consistently outstrips supply. Now, the best type for that is period style inner Melbourne houses, and that's definitely what Australians prefer because of that detached home style with their own block. And houses have certainly shown strong growth in recent times, and that's led to other affordability issues. So there's interest now becoming in good apartments. And you typically need to look for some form of point of difference within that apartment sector, so something that sets those apartments out from the rest of the market. Stamp duty concessions have certainly meant that demand for properties under $700,000 has been pushing up entry-level prices for property. We're certainly seeing more first home buyers entering the market in 2018, and they're ready to buy and they're very confident, and that's come off the back of doing their homework since the 1st of July 2017, so through the spring market of 2017, getting an understanding of what they want and how much they can afford. Now that's led to obviously affordability becoming an issue. So what's the most important? And that's something that first home buyers need to take into account. Where perhaps can they compromise? And perhaps they need to look at things like considering slightly different neighbourhoods, or perhaps even a different type of property that makes affordability less of an issue. So for the first home or first property purchase, you can take steps towards building equity and then moving into the ideal home, as opposed to buying the ideal home first up. So perhaps look at considering investment grade properties, so apartments or single story units, which might mean sacrificing space in the short term, but it will lead to capital growth longer term and building more equity.